So today we're going to factor trinomials. So again, you can use kind of the guess and check method, which is really what I like, or you can use the other way. I'll do some of both here. So again, if you're going to use the guess and check method, you just go ahead and put down your two sets of parentheses. You're looking for factors of 4, so it's just try things like 2y and 2y. Factors of 5 are going to be 5 and 1. And since you have 2s, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. You can have 5 here and a 1 here. And again, let's check our middle term. We want it to be positive, so that would give me a 10y. I'm going to be subtracting here 2y, so that would work. I want the 10 to be positive, so it would go there and there. If we're doing the other way, remember, you're going to multiply these two together, which would give you 20. So we're looking at factors of 20 that will give you 8. So again, think of starting through your factors 1 and 20, 2 and 10. So 2 and 10 would work, wouldn't they? And again, it's positive 8, so the 10 would need to be bigger. So you just put 4y squared. I'm going to start this up here because I need a little more room. 4y squared plus 10y. Oops, one didn't show up there. Minus 2y minus 5. And so now we're going to use grouping to factor this. So I'm going to think of grouping the first two. I'm going to group the second two, so putting my plus in here. So here what do they have in common? They have a 2y, so factoring a 2y out, I'm left with 2y plus 5. Here I'm going to factor out a negative 1, leaving me 2y plus 5. So that leaves me 2y minus 1 times the quantity 2y plus 5. So I do get the same answer. In number 2 here, I think since I'm only going to do it the guess and check method, since it doesn't really have too many factors to worry about, so factors of 2x squared would be 2x and x. I want factors of 2 are going to be, the only thing I try is 1 and 2. So I can either try to put the 2 first in the 1 or the 1 in the 2. Well, looking ahead, I need a bigger number. So that would give me 4x and 1x. So plus and plus. And again, double check all your signs, and that would work. Alright, so I will use the method of multiplying these two together. So that's 72. So I'm thinking of factors of 72 that when I subtract them, I'm going to get 6. So again, 1 and 72, 2 and 36, 3 and 24. So you keep going. I think 6 and 12 would work here, right? So, and again, the 12 needs to be the positive one. So 9y squared plus 12y minus 6y minus 8. Again, I'm going to group them as they are, so we kind of put a parentheses here, make a plus sign, and then put it in here. So what do I have in common here? A 3y, leaving you 3y plus 4. What do you have in common here? It looks like a negative 2. I'm kind of planning ahead when I factor out the negative because I know I'm trying to hope I get a 3y plus 4. So that would give me 3y plus 4. So then I have that 3y plus 4 in common, leaving me with 3y minus 2 is my second quantity. Alright, again in this one, you might want to try. 6 doesn't have a lot of factors, so I'm not really sure which way you want to do it. If you multiply the two together, 6 and 6, you're going to get 36. So factors of 36 would be 9 and 4, that would give you 13. They both need to be negative, so 6x squared minus 9x minus 4x plus 6. So when I group, remember this becomes plus negative. Sorry, I didn't make that very well. So I have a 3x in common, leaving me 2x minus 3. Here what happens if I factor out a negative 2, I'm going to be left with 2x minus 3. So my 2x minus 3 is in common, factoring it out, leaving me with 3x minus 2. So double check and check all your signs when you're doing this. So we get a negative 4, negative 9 is negative 13 in the middle, and a positive at the end. Okay, again, a lot of factors. So if I multiply the 10 and the 15 together, I'm going to get 150. So I've got to think of all the factors of 150. So just kind of go through them in your head, or write them down. I don't care. 1 and 150, 2 and 75, 3 and 50, so you kind of just keep going. I believe it's going to be 6 and 25 that work. So again, just start listing them until you find the right combination. The 25 needs to be bigger, or positive, sorry. sorry, negative, because the bigger number is negative here. So 10x squared minus 25x plus 6x minus 15. So here we have a 5x in common, leaving you with 2x minus 5. Here we have a 3 in common, leaving you with 2x minus 5. Remember, if that doesn't happen, then you need to go back and look at how you group them or see if you have the right factors to start with. So if we factor 2x minus 5 out, we're left with 5x plus 3. Alright, problem 6, we have to start doing something now that we're getting into more factoring and knowing several ways of getting the habit of doing this first. And that is looking for what we did at the very beginning, a greatest common factor. So we really should have been doing that all along, but I kind of let that slide since we were learning new things. So is there something in common in these three? Yes, there is. So I'm going to factor a 3 out, leaving me x squared plus 10x plus 21. So always get in the habit of doing that, of factoring something out first. And then we want to look at this and see if we can factor this. Well, yes, it's going to factor into x, and again, it doesn't have a, we can probably do it the easy way, guess and check way, plus 7 and x plus 3. That would give us 10x and 3x would be 10x, or 7x and 3x would give 10x and 21. So that would be factored completely. So always now we have to start asking ourselves that question, is there anything in common? So in this number 7, is there anything that goes into 8, 20, and 48? Yes, 4 goes into those. And it'll actually make your factoring easier. I mean, you can factor without that and eventually get it, but you want to try to get in the habit of doing it first. 2y squared plus 5y minus 12. So now we need to find factors of this, and again, you can use your guess and check, or you can multiply the 2 together. 12 times 2 is 24. So we're looking at factors of 24 that are going to give us 5. So start going through 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8. Looks like 3 and 8 will work, right? 8 needs to be positive. So again, I'm going to leave the 4 out for just a minute, but don't forget to put it back in your answer. So I'm just going to look at 2y squared. And we said the 8 must be positive, plus 8y minus 3y minus 12. So grouping these, and if you want to do this, you can go ahead and, sorry, that negative needs to go with the 3. Can't see it there now. You can still keep the 4 out in front if you want, just don't forget it. I like to just go back and get it at the end. So I'm going to factor out a 2y, leaving me with y plus 4. And here I can factor out a 3, negative 3, leaving me with, because that's a negative 3 there, I forgot that, y plus 4. So now I have my 4 that I started with, and if you want to carry the 4 along, you probably need to put this in brackets then. And so what do I have in common? A y plus 4, leaving me 2y minus 3. So that would be my final answer.